Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna see the new potential units for the next Total War game, Total War Warhammer 40,000. So we're gonna see the new units for the Space Marines, for the Aeldari, for the Orks and for the Astra Militarum. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed my video, and let's begin. First, a little disclaimer, this is a new format for the channel, so feel free to share in the comments how I can improve these videos, and if you want more videos about the lore and the new units coming with the Total War Warhammer 40,000. Hi, I am Alberto, I'm a real person, and here you will find a beginner's guide, a battle unit roster, tier list, ranking, and many shorts, so if you wanna support the channel, please consider to subscribe. Now let's talk about the Astra Militarum, and as a generic basic troop we will see the infantry squad, that are these soldiers equipped with this range attack. Probably they will not be that bad in melee, but I don't expect them to be used in this way. They will be the army filler of the Astra Militarum, so you will recruit plenty of them, but they will be probably highly customizable. That is great because you can decide probably the range of your fire weapon, or if they should get a pistol, a sword, some kind of melee additional attack. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think they will be one of the most personalizable unit of this game, and yeah, great. Let's start with the generic lord, that I expect to be the Commissar. That is a hybrid character with a sword and with a pistol, that probably will be mostly a support lord, because I mean it got a sword, a pistol, but in this game where the level of strength is a little up with the Space Marines, giant monsters, war machines, a fortress, a walking fortress of the Orks, I don't expect a human with a sword and a pistol to be that great as a character itself. I mean, even in Total War Warhammer 2 is the same, and then there is Angrim that is almost impossible to defeat in melee. But in any case, yeah, it will be mostly a support lord, and I like the idea. I think it's this kind of steampunk character, so with a pistol and with a sword all together, that gives you both the flavor of the future and of the past. And then there is the heavy weapon squad, that they will be units of less entities probably, but equipped with some advanced range weapons that can be little cannons or gatlings or something like that, and they will be the main range support, but in this case more stationary, okay, because there are many tanks and many mobile stuff in this faction, but this will be, I think, for the early game where you need just to give some fire coverage to your infantry troops, and they will be a very nice options and very versatile. Even in this case, probably there are many different weapons that you can equip them with. And then we will get the Lehman Russ battle tank, that will be the primary main battle tanks of the Astra Militarum. I expect them to be not that elite, so you will be able to recruit plenty of them already in the mid game. They will be armored and probably very, highly customizable, so you can add some extra additional weapons. I don't know, some soldiers getting up of the tank like in Total War Warhammer 2. And yeah, in any case, I have, I think it's very nice, because these are that kind of units that you would expect from a historical, as I say, like World War I game, and I really like they are preparing these units, because probably, we will get more chances to get this kind of game, historical game in the future. And then we will get probably the Chimera, that is the standard armored personal carrier of the Astra Militarum, so it will be both a war machine and a mean to transport the troops. That, as I said, I'm not sure how they will implement this into the game, if you will be able just to move this very armored war machine to the army of the enemy, and there you will drop your squad of infantry. I really hope they are creating this kind of mechanics, because it will be very nice to see. In any case, yeah, they open you the possibilities of the battle tactics that you will be able to do in this game. And then we get the Basilisk, that is the field artillery of the Astra Militarum, probably with a very long range, but the mobility will be quite limited, unfortunately. In any case, yes, I think it will be mostly a cannon, so more specialized against big single units and not troops, but this is just my speculation. I like the idea to see units like that because I really would like to play defensively, even with, even in Total War Warhammer 40k. So yeah, I'm open to see more units like that, and I think that the Empire will get plenty of this. They already showed, so I already showed you in the previous video some of the artworks that of the units they are working on. So yeah, I'm very excited. Then we get the Baneblade, that is the primary super heavy tank of the Astra Militarum and one of the largest and oldest armored fighting vehicles in the service of the Astra Militarum. Now, I expect this to be a very huge tank, not only, you know, just a little machine, but a giant war machine like probably like the land ship. They were just preparing us for this, so with the multiple units firing with their own weapons at different targets, so with this area that will be covered by your fire, and then the main attack that will be the cannon or some other things. I'm really excited about this kind of units because yeah, I mean, think about having a land ship and a Thunderbird for all the different factions of this game. I mean, they will be the ultimate power and very hard to destroy, and then, you know, you can just look at the model and check every single unit that is working in this machine, and yeah, it's crazy. And then we will get the Valkyrie. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. In any case, this will be the flying machine of the Empire. I'm not sure how they will work, if they will be just a summon ability, I mean, not a summon ability, but a bombardment that you will be able to perform during the battle, or a unit itself. I really hope them to be a unit itself. I don't know if they can be in a static flying position or if they have to move. In any case, there are some games, as I said, that they already implemented this kind of thing. So with like I remember a Star Wars game and another Empire, War of Empire, I don't know. I mean, an old game where there were some planes that were the units, but they were, you know, moving around to, I mean, because they are planes, they are not helicopters. In any case, yeah, quite, I mean, they will be a nice addition, probably some kind of you know, helicopters like for the dwarves. And I mean, I like the idea they will get some missiles that will be an ability maybe that they can use against particular targets. And yeah, I mean, I think they expanded the chances of what we can do in this game, and this is pretty awesome. Now let's talk about the Orks with the K, that are this weirdly technological faction in Warhammer 40,000. They will be quite similar to the Greenskins because they are very aggressive and they have to respect the momentum, so they need to keep fighting. So I mean, what we are already used to in Total War Warhammer 2, and their generic troops are called the Ork Boys, so exactly like in Total War Warhammer 2, and they will come in many categories and tiers. There will be, for example, the Slugger Boys that are the standard heavy infantry, the Shooter Boys that will focus more on the range attacks, the Hard Boys that can absorb more damage and they can be equipped with the shield, and I mean many other categories like that. I don't know if you will be able to personalize them and choose yourself their specialty, or you know, if they will come as a roster, so you will have already all the different options for the different purposes. In any case, quite exciting because I mean there are plenty of them. It's not like the Ork Boys in the Greenskins. They are very different, and there is a level of variety that we will not expect, believe me. As a generic lord, we will get probably the war boss that will be the biggest, the greatest and the greenest orc in the tribe. These characters will be highly personalizable. You can choose to get some mechanical hands, for example, with a range attack, with a melee attack, and yeah, and probably they can also get some kind of machines that we will address later. In any case, yes, they are quite the Skaven of this game because you don't expect them to be that smart, but they can actually conceive these very twisted creations that I like very much, and I'm looking forward to play with them. But yes, you will still be very aggressive with your gameplay, so yeah, quite green skins, but at the same time more technological and futuristic. Then we get to the nobs that will be the more elite infantry. They will be probably a little bigger and with some more colossal weapons. They will deal a lot of heavy damage, and yeah, I expect great things for them. I think they will have half of their body covered in some mechanical iron stuff, so they will be very armored, probably not that vulnerable to lack of discipline, but yeah, we will see what they're able to, but I have a very good feeling about them. And then we will get the Mega Nobs that are the even more elite version of the Nobs, that in this case will be in front of half machine, half orcs units. I don't know if they will be considered large entities, but in any case they will be taller with plenty of armored and many weapons that can be discs or range weapons, pincers, and many stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know, I just love them. Then we will get the Death Dreads that are these large combat workers machines of the orcs, made by many pieces of stuff attached together in a chaotic way. I expect them to be very devastating and at the same time messy, probably out of control, and this goes because they will have at their disposal a huge array of weaponry that you can choose from, so melee weapons, range weapons, discs, pincers, and probably you can even make more limbs attached to them, so highly personalizable, very funny to seal and cool to use. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this unit, and even here this is one of the models that are very iconic of Warhammer 40,000, so even if you are not a fan of the franchise, probably you have seen this before, so yeah, quite happy to finally be able to play with them. And now let's talk about the battle wagons that we already seen in the trailer, in one of the best shots of this cinematic, so I'm very happy to say that they are coming. I don't know in which and how many variants, because in the lore, you know, they are fully personalizable. They can have cannons, range weapons, or you know, some even here some pincers. You can equip them with some item as a ram, a roll, I don't know, an excavator, whatever. So I mean, I'm really happy about this kind of units, even because they will be close to the, you know, the iron demons of the, or the skull crackers of the chaos dwarfs that are one of some of my favorite units in Total War Warhammer 2. So I'm happy to see them coming for this game, and yes, they look quite messy, but with plenty of charge they will just disrupt the enemy formations. And then we will go to the Stompa, that we have seen different shots of this unit, both in the cinematic and in the battle showcase. So I'm really happy that this is coming, because I love the Landship, the Thunderbird, and getting new war machines of this entity. So that big, that huge, it's I mean, such a great news for me. And yeah, I expect it to be very big. You can already see it in the trailer, with a lot of melee weapons, range weapons, some orcs just getting up and fire with their stuff. So yeah, I love this kind of idea, and I hope to see many, but really many of them in the game. And even here they are fully personalizable. They can have weapons of any kind. So yeah, I don't know how much will be big this thing, okay, of personalize the units, if you will really able to decide you know, the left hand armament, or if getting an ability, a orc in on the leg, I don't know. But if they make something that great, I mean, I would be yours forever, Total War. So let's start with the Space Marines, and I guess that the unit, the most basic unit that we will be able to recruit with this faction will be the Intercessors, that are this standard multi-role heavy infantry of the primary Space Marines. I think they will be one of the most customizable unit of this game, so you can decide with which kind of weapon to equip them. That can be more range focus, more melee focus, and so on. They will be quite armored. as they say, the Space Marines will be limited in number but very strong, and one single of them will be able to deal with an entire army of Tyranids or other stuff. So I'm quite excited. They will be kind of the Ogre Kingdom of Total War Warhammer 40k, in my opinion. Even, I mean, definitely very different. And yes, I'm very excited because you know, it's an iconic unit that we all know, and even people that are not fanatics of Total War, they still know what this unit look like, and probably they will feel the desire to try the game. And in this way, if we get more audience, we will get more units, more games, and I mean, we will get a bright future ahead of us. And then, as a generic lord, I expect to see the captain of the Space Marines, that even here it will be probably one of the most personalizable unit in this game. You will be able to equip this character with everything, you know, with a hammer, with a sword, or with a different ranged weapon, a pistol, a flamethrower. Probably you can give it some some other abilities, or the jetpack to fly. And yes, it's funny because, you know, you can create your own unique captain instead of relying on the decisions of creative assembly. So just the hammer and the pistol, or the sword and the flamethrower. I think this will be great and expand to an infinity of choices we will get at our disposal. So I'm so happy with this decision. Then we will probably see the Terminators, that are the Space Marines veterans, very heavy armored warriors, probably taller and bigger than the generic Space Marines. They will get plenty of melee and the range options to be equipped with, and yeah, probably they will be a very elite units. If the Space Marines are already limited in number, this will be just I don't know, 3 or 4, but I mean, I think they are quite scaring, and you will have plenty of fun with them, because I expect them to be quite indestructible. So you can just send them to the enemy front line, and I mean, bring havoc to the battlefield. And then we will see the Devastator Marines, that are a fire support veteran firstborn Space Marines. That will be the most elite, probably the most elite fire, missile infantry units of this faction. They will be equipped with this heavy damage fire weapon, very elite. And yeah, this will be one of my favorite units, because I love elite missile infantry, even if there will be very few entities. So it will be more monstrous missile infantry. That is even better at this point. And yeah, I expect them to be also very heavy, so probably not good at melee combat, but at the same time harder to take down. And even them, they will be highly personalizable with different fire options, so pretty excited. And then we already saw the model in the video, so we can state for sure that they are coming. We will see the Dreadnought. That is a very iconic unit of the Space Marines. Basically are these cybernetic combat walkers of this mid-size, that they are not, they are quite living soldiers. Basically there is these Space Marines that got wounded, if I remember correctly, and they got this, they were very elite and important warriors. That's why they got these machines to keep fighting, even if they they are not able to fight themselves anymore with their own bodies. That is great. Even this unit will be highly personalizable with different melee and range options, and yeah, probably will be one of the best units in this game. I can already see us enjoying our time with them, and I cannot wait for this. Okay, these giant robots. I remember back in my childhood they were like a dream to be able to paint one full model of them. So yeah, and probably there will be also some kind of heroes related to this, because I remember that there were many venerable warriors that got these machines. So yeah, quite happy about their arrival in the game. And then we will probably get the Assault Marines, that are the close support firstborn Space Marines. They will be able probably to teleport at the back of the enemy and then jump off them, because they will be equipped with the jump packs. So probably they will be even able to fly. That is great. And they will get some big hammers or some heavy damage melee weapons to just destroy the back of the enemy. And yeah, it's quite crazy. I think yes, they will be a very great unit to play with, and even here probably very personalizable. And then we will get the Land Riders that even here we already saw the model in the video, so we can say for sure that they are coming, and they are one of the most iconic unit of the Space Marines that even the not fanatics of this game, they know about it. They are these very armored tanks with many different weapons and of many different sizes. I don't know how they will implement this, but yeah, I expect to see many different models of that, and probably even here very personalizable with different range attacks, or I mean, they can be the mount of some lords, I'm not sure, but yeah, I expect them to be very tanky, of course, and that they can cause a lot of damage to the enemy, but they can also penetrate the enemy front line, because I mean, I don't expect to be that easy for the enemy to deal damage to them. And then probably we will get the Rhino, the armored personal carrier of the Space Marines. That I don't know how they will implement this into the game, but I really expect that I will be able to transport a unit of infantry with this machine, and I can go through the army of the enemy, and there I can drop my unit of soldiers that they can just burst there and start to destroy the enemy army from the inside. That may be great. I'm still not sure if they will make these kind of mechanics into the game, but I'm quite confident, and yeah, I would love to see these very armored tanks that even if you are the enemy, you have to try to destroy if you don't want them to bring the havoc inside your army formation. Now let's talk about the Aeldari, that they will be probably my favorite faction, and we can start by saying that the generic troops of this faction will be the Aspect Warriors, that are the Asuryani. You can already feel the association with the High Elves of Warhammer, the Old World. These Asuryani that specialize in certain aspects of combat during their path of the warrior. So basically they are just the generic pool, and from this pool some fighters will specialize in melee, some other in range combat, other in anti-armor, other in stealthy and hit and run tactics, and so on. Now we're gonna see some examples of these troops to give you an idea of what kind of unit we can expect in Total War Warhammer 40,000. The Dire Avengers will be the most flexible regiment of the Aspect Warriors. They are the least specialized, and that's why they can serve multiple purposes. They are born, of course, as elite range infantry, so they will be equipped with this gun that, in my opinion, they will be quite like the fire glaives of the Chaos Dwarfs, so a lot of armor piercing damage, probably magical, and a nice range, but not exaggerated, probably, yeah, around 160 or something like that. This will be the main troop. I think we will fill our armies with this, because it's the most generic and iconic unit of this faction. The second kind I want to address are the Howling Banshees, that will be some all-female aspect warriors, so just the women, that will be highly specialized in melee combat and mobility. So I expect them to be very fast with these double swords. Apparently they will have some kind of anti-infantry attribute, maybe the stalk. They will be exceptionally fast and quick, and they will get some kind of flanking attribute. Of course, these are just my expectations for this unit, quite like the Rangers of the High Elves, to give you an example. And yes, so in this way we can have not only the range units, but also many melee options for our armies. The Striking Scorpions will be instead our skirmish unit, probably. They will be equipped with a small pistol and a sword, for example, so they will look like the Free Company militia of the Empire, or the Black Ark Corsairs with the little crossbows of the Dark Elves. And in this way, they will be not that good at melee, not that good with the range attack, but altogether they will be a very versatile support unit that can serve you for multiple purposes. And yeah, I think it's nice. They will be very good at close combat, and very quite thunderous, because they will just come up from out of nothing, and they will attack very heavily the enemy. The fire dragons will be this very elite and heavy armored infantry equipped with this long range fire weapon that will be able to destroy buildings, vehicles, machines. They will be very hard to defeat, and at the same time they will get the flaming attack that expect this flaming attack kind to be far more destructive in this game, because I mean there is a lot of fuel around, so I think you know, we should expect to be more destructive and not just flaming arrows like in Total War Warhammer 2. In any case, a great unit and probably will be very elite, so you will be able to recruit just in the late game. Then we have the Warp Spiders, that are probably the unit that intrigue me the most, because are these aspect warriors with 4 hands that can be quite versatile. They can be more specialized in melee or in range, and they will have a teleportation ability device that will make them able to just go into the Immaterium and you know, just appear in some other place of the map. So very good for stealthy and hit and run tactics. I would love to use them, and I mean just 4 hands, so it will be plenty of fun to play with them. It's very exciting that, I mean, we can get all these units for this game, and now I'm looking forward to play with it. Now let's talk about the Wraith Lord, that I remember back in my childhood was my favorite unit of the Eldars. It's basically this big tall titan that can be equipped with ranged weapons or big giant swords. There will be no living combat, but there will be like the soul of a dead Assyrian hero that will lead and drive this machine. And yeah, I mean, I expect them to be very big, but at the same time quite fast. I think similar to the Keeper of Secret, for example, and yeah, they will probably be very very vulnerable to missile attacks, but at the same time fast enough to dodge artillery bullets and to sneak around and hit the enemy at the flank. So wow, I mean, just wow. And then we will get the Wraith Guard, that will be the lesser version of the Wraith Lord. They will be these few entities equipped with heavy range weapons that will cause a lot of destruction. I think they will be quite similar to the rattling guns of the Skaven, for example. So yeah, few entities, but plenty of damage they can make, and at the same time they will be also driven by some Assyrian heroes that they perished in combat. In this way they will be like probably unbreakable, so they cannot rout. Their leadership will be immense. So yeah, I mean, quite excited to play even with them. As a generic lord, we will see probably the Autarch. That is this character able to fly with these mechanical wings, with a range attack and with a sword, for example. So quite powerful, very highly mobile, that you can just send it everywhere. A duelist also probably, so like a Valkyria, but with an additional range attack. I'm very excited about this kind of ideas. They are they are futuristic, but at the same time with the sword they still have the flavor of the Middle Age, of the close combat, and yeah, I think it's perfect. Will be one of my favorite units in this. Oh my god, the Aeldari will be my favorite faction here, I have no doubt about it. And then as a generic hero, maybe we will see the Farseer, that is this kind of wizard, but I'm not sure the magic will work in the same way as in Total War Warhammer 2, so with some magic, the pole to make your spells with. I think it will be changed even that, but I like that we will got this unit that they will be able to change, to turn the tide of the battle without any direct combat and fight. So yeah, this kind of support unit is what make this kind of game more interesting probably than the historical titles, for example. So quite happy to see it into the game. And I wanted to conclude this video with the Falcon, that will be the main battle tank of the Aeldari, very fast, highly mobile, and with a lot of armor. Probably it will not suffer any penalty caused by the terrain, because it will be anti-grav, okay, will not touch the ground, it will just float above that. And yes, I have great expectation it will be able to transport a small squad of aspect warriors. I still don't know how they will implement implement this into the game, but yeah, I'm quite excited. Tell me about yours, and of course tell me if you want more videos about this, about the lore of Warhammer 40k. So yeah, let's see very soon.